Hi, so now I'm going to show you some code that we might use to detect these beacons that we talked about in our discussion. So first of all, we notice that this is just a view controller, but I've imported the core location framework so that I can access the UUIDs for the beacons. In my view controller, I have imported core location.h, and then I have adopted the CL Location Manager Delegate protocol. I've also set up a single property here for my location manager, and I've just called it Loc Manager to abbreviate that. In my view controller, I've lazily instantiated self.locmanager. If it doesn't exist, I just want to make it an alloc and initted core location manager object, and then I return it. Now, this is very simple code. There's absolutely nothing in the user interface. All I'm doing here is showing you how to get beacon updates and so forth. So now the first thing we do is in view.did.load, I'm just checking to see if we can get a beacon. And the way I do that is in the location manager object itself, or the class itself, I call isMonitoringAvailable for class. What class do I want to use? I want to use the CL Beacon Region class. CL Region will give me availability for geographic monitoring, but also but it will not give me specific beacon monitoring class information. I want to know if I can specifically monitor the CL Beacon Region class. So let's make that change here. And then I'll save that. And let's clean that up a little bit. It's easier to read that way. And now, if then that returns a yes or a true one, if I can get a beacon, then I want to know if the user has authorized this device to use this information. So now if CL Location Manager authorization status is equal to our constant KCL authorization status authorized, then I know I'm good to go. The user has allowed location services to monitor beacon information. So now we want to set up the beacon region. And remember that here I'm only using the UUID, but if we want to monitor for a specific beacon region, we need to know that beacon region's UUID and possibly the major and possibly the minor as well. This UUID was generated with UUID-gen. In Mac OS X, in the terminal, we can just type UUID-gen and it will give us back a unique uniform identifier. This is not, of course, an actual proximity UUID for a beacon. So I'm just setting up an NSUUID called Beacon UUID, and then I'm just initializing it with the string that I got back for UUID-gen. Then I want to set up a beacon region that uses that UUID, so it's beacon region alloc, and then in it with proximity UUID, and I'm passing it in my beacon UUID, and then I'm going to identify this later in my app with the string myBeacon. Now I set the location manager's delegate to self, and remember that I have that property location manager, so I set the delegate to self, and I'm ready to go, and then finally I start monitoring for this region, the beacon region that I set up just now. Okay, now that I am monitoring, I'm going to I need to trap that somehow with my did-enter region and did-exit region delegate methods of the location manager. So code to do that. Here are the delegate methods, and then whatever you particularly want to go to do, or your app to do, when you enter or leave this particular beacon with this particular UUID, you would do inside these methods. That could be as simple as a UI alert view to tell the user that they have entered and left a beacon. We could get the data payload and so forth. So this is just an extremely simple way to set up iBeacon to monitor for a particular UUID. Thank you very much.